Alright, welcome back, guys. Now, if you guys are watching these videos online, you guys might be a little lost on what I'm talking about some of the times. It's because these videos are, it's kind of like an extension to one of my classes. So some of these stuff we do in class, and I just put up videos up here, so it's easier for everybody to kind of look at. But if you are checking it online, thank you. Just keep watching them. They do. We keep playing with them, and then there's some new stuff that I kind of shoot out there. They do have they have a kind of like point-based kind of deal. Okay. All right. Now, but this series, we're just finishing up the apartment on here, on putting in objects and so on and so forth. Now we made a sconce. Now I'm gonna scale this guy down. Okay, and I'm gonna place it into my apartment that I have. Okay. Now, whatever the best place would be for this. However, let me say about there. Okay. So either side of my TV over here that I have. Okay. Now that might be a little small, so I could scale it up a bit more. Not too big. Maybe like so. And I'm gonna pull this guy close to the wall. Turn on my wireframe or my smooth and highlight edge faces. Pull that in right about there. Okay. So it fits in. Now I could select this guy again, and I could do a shift copy, move it over here, and leave it as an instance. Now I want to name this object. So what I'm going to do is instead of leaving them separate objects, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach them all so it's just one object. But before I do that, what I would like to do though is I would like to make a copy of this. Okay, leave a copy, don't say anything, and then say hide selection. So that way it's just a copy. Now next I'm going to select my base, add edit poly right on top. Okay, actually I'm going to right click, say convert tearable poly, converts it. I'm going to click on attach, and I'm going to click on these two pieces here. Okay, so now this way this whole object is one object. Now these are named sconce, and I'm going to say 01 being 1, and the next one I'm going to shift move it over to here as an instance. Okay, so it'll automatically put 22 or 002 on it. Okay, now I might want to relocate my TV just a little bit just to even out the space. Okay, now these do kind of look like speakers, but you can turn them into speakers if you want, but I'm gonna go with lights. Okay, maybe a little too big there, something like so. Alright, these two guys I don't really need. Actually, I'm gonna keep one of them. I'm gonna keep this guy here. Same thing, I'm gonna scale it down, go to my top viewport, and place it someplace in my scene. If I look at it, my wireframe, maybe this hallway. Okay, maybe this hallway needs a couple of lights. Okay, so one, let's say one here. I'm gonna scale it down a bit more to I don't want it to be too big. Okay, and then one here. So either side of the bathroom that I have. Okay, so I'm gonna leave them as instance. I'm gonna select both of them. Okay, hold on, control, select both of them. Because we're not done yet. Go to front viewport and move them down. Okay, then go to perspective viewport. Make sure that they're placed right. So too high, too low. I'm gonna say about there. I know they're a little high, but it's alright. Let me render that, see what that looks like. See if my normals are good on these. And it looks like they could be pushed towards the wall a bit more. So I'm just gonna push them back this way. Like so. Run that out one more time and then see what this looks like. But yeah, see much better. This looks much better. So again, guys, these are just simple objects done using splines. They do look complex because splines are complex objects, but they're easy to work with to get the results you're looking for. Okay, I'm gonna delete that guy. Don't need him. Okay, now the same way we did tables, chairs, and so on. In here, what we're going to look into is polymodel. Okay, now we looked into polymodel a little bit when we did details like this. Now what I'm saying is polymodel for something like a couch, or something like a table, or some like bathroom stuff, things like that. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna name this one couch. I have it. Okay, what I want to do is just save my work really quick, and I'm gonna do a file, reset. So it'll ask me yes. So I'm just gonna reset my file. Again, this goes into file management kind of deal. I'm gonna click on file, import, merge. Now note how I'm doing merge instead of doing um, file import or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna pick the file. Okay, the apartment file I've been working on, and I'm going to select my object couch. Okay, so when it brings it into this file, it's automatically a couch object, as in it's going to be the same place where it was in the other one. It's going to be named the same, all the dimensions are the same. Now my goal kind of is really, this is just a dummy object for me to work off of. Okay, so I'm going to create another box here. Okay, and of course they have to be red. Let's change that color to, like a green. Let's feel like a green today. This looks very Christmassy. Okay, so in my top viewport I'm gonna just lay it out, so they both are about the same size, because this box was drawn in to imitate where the couch would be. Okay, so that looks about okay. Alright, next what I'm going to do is we're going to start dividing this up, kind of to plan everything out. Okay, now if you haven't yet, you want to hit F4 on your viewport to just turn on the wire edged faces. I'm going to give it about 2 length and about 2 length, actually 3 length, 4 width, and then maybe just 1 height. Okay, those are the segments I'm going to give it. Now you can always do is just give 2, 3, 1, and you can add in segments as you need them, which might actually work a little better than adding in a bunch of segments at once. Okay. Now next is, again, you want to go to Google or something like that, and find pictures of couches. Okay, so you can go to Google Images, find pictures of couches. Think about the couch you want in your apartment. Now it could be something from your house, something that you see online, something that's something it's kind of like artistic couches, things like that. So let me type in artistic couch. Alright, so keep things simple. I'm just gonna do a very kind of modernish, like today, one room apartment kind of couch. Something that you would see that you'd think like a college kid would live in or something like that. Okay, so I have this. Now what I want to do is have two options here. I can leave it as a box, okay, or delete it. I'll completely delete it out, and then go to standard primitives. Extended primitives, and create a chamfer box. Okay, which kind of works out a little better, but because chamfered box, you get beveled or fillet edges. Okay, so you can pull out the fillet of an edge to about so. Okay, I'm gonna increase the length, the width a little bit here to match my my dummy there. Change it to green again. Okay, so this way what happens is you can add in like something like a turbo smooth, and the object looks kind of couchy. Got a little bent here and there, kind of stuff like that, but you know, not as fancy as you would want it to. So what I'm going to do is just add in a couple of segments here and there for this, to make it so I could go in here and then play with it kind of. Okay. Next you have edit poly. Now you can add an edit poly, you can try the FFT, whichever works. Now with the edit poly you can pull out certain vertices that you want out, certain vertices that you want to be pulled in, like, you know, back edges you really don't need too much there. So stuff like that, round this out a bit more if you need to. So things like this you can do with edit poly. Now with FFT, FFT 4 times 4 times 4, or any one of these, let's try 3 times 3. You go into control points here. Now you can pull this and it kind of moves the whole object according to this kind of frame here. Okay, so this orange frame that you have, it'll move the couch according to that. So, you know, depending on what you guys are looking for, this kind of helps out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull just the center down a little bit, and I'm going to pull these down so it looks a little bent. Now I want to keep the backs straight, but just the fronts bent a little bit. Just the center. Okay, and these guys probably pulled out a bit more. Something like so. So the couch looks, you know, kind of comfortable to sit in and so on. Okay, so if you guys use, you know, Photoshop or anything like that and you use a warp tool, it's the same concept. Okay, now I'm going to add a turbo smooth right on top of here. Turn that off. So it's a smooth object. Now when we add in textures, it'll look a little more realistic, to get the bumps and stuff right. Next, what I want to do is I want to add in cylinders. Okay, extended primitive cylinder. And what I'm going to do is in my left viewport, I'm going to add one cylinder back here. Okay, height doesn't matter for now. I'm going to match that up right there, move it over. And let me make this one that color there. Okay, now I have this option here. I can make the cylinder and I could bring out the height and start playing with it, use the bend modifier or whatnot to play with it. Okay, the other option I have is have my couch, right? I can go into shapes, go to line, and draw a line out on how I want my pillows to be kind of. Okay, so these bars here, this outside, and note that, you know, for this I'm just gonna have one pillow. I'm just gonna have one pillow that's stretched out all the way across. Okay, so it'll give me kind of like that very modernish kind of look, very college student kind of look there. That's kind of what I'm going for. So this stuff stays in place. Okay, now what I want to do is really quick is scale this in just a little bit because we're gonna add width to it and it's gonna pop out. Okay, so again, rendering menu, enable in viewport and enable on render. P for perspective viewport. I'm gonna pull that up. F3 to smooth in highlights. I'm gonna increase up the thickness. Okay, so I have something like so. Very simple kind of couch. It's not fancy at all. It kind of flows with the curve of the shape down here. Okay, you can always go into vertex and pull these guys up, depending. Okay, you can pull them up, pull them down. You can pull certain vertices down if you need to. So however you have it. Now this part most likely will fling back a little because, you know,